Gundam style, everyone. My name is Jared, or Jay. I use he and him pronouns, and I am here with my two lovely co-hosts for Gundam Wing.
I'm Julia. I use she and her pronouns.
I'm Max. I use he and him pronouns. The show's called Wow Cool Robot, by the way. It's probably important to mention.
Oh,
Jay's
yeah.
doing their goddamn
I can't
best.
nail it. I gotta goof
It's
something
burned
every
into
time.
my
It's
brain.
fine.
These goddamn robots have taken over my life. I can't forget the cursed words I say every week.
I try to every week.
Only a few more weeks
I
and you'll
think
be free.
I remember it.
Woo!
I remember it better as a listener than I do as a host.
You'd think that with the whole taking notes thing, that wouldn't be the case, but yeah, you know, happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Wow, that sure is a cool robot.
God, I'm so fucking excited to get finished the series. I'm not saying like I'm excited for Wing to end. It's more like
no, I get it. Like you're excited to see
No,
the
I
end
am.
of it. Like Jay's fucking.
it's just like
Dunsky.
we're getting there.
We
Things are
got-
getting kind of fucking nutty.
We got
It
three
feels like
parts
it
of
maybe
Gundam
should
Wing
end
that
at
I
this
like.
Yeah, we're at the part that kind of sucks shit.
I mean, I think what excites me the most, and we'll get into it when we talk about the episodes, is that Miliardo is going on about like this will be the war to end all wars, and I'm like, thank fucking God.
Yeah.
I'm done with them.
Yeah.
We can have
Well,
no
you would
more.
think,
The end is in
but
sight.
with a little bit of foresight, we know about a thing called Endless Waltz, which we do know is more Wing content. God only knows what it could be.
Well, yeah. Content. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I think I've got the first episode summary here.
Yeah, let's get into talking about this damn show.
All right. Well, we'll kick it off with episode 40. A New Leader. The plot is actually so confusing that a character in the show itself highlights the fact that there are now at least 5 major forces at play. White Fang squares off against Wu Fei and his constant intervention to announce war against the Earth, or they use Wu Fei, rather, to announce war against the Earth. Meanwhile, Relina continues to use her new position to outmaneuver Duke Dermail and announces to all Romefeller that the unified Earth nation should disarm and seek peace with outer space. Noin's Gundam boys meet up with Howard on Peace Million, and Zex has actually gone missing, only to be revealed as the new figurehead of White Fang. Futures shown to the pilots of the Wing Zero and the Epion clash, and pieces fall into place as we gear up for a final conflict.
Oh, it's good. I like these episodes. They were fun.
It was pretty good.
I mean,
yeah.
this episode was good, and then the back half of the next one sure was good. There's
Yes.
some times where I would say these episodes not really good though.
Yeah.
Is
I
Gundam
can't
Wing is a
get
show
over
that
the
tests
fact-
your faith.
I can't get over the fact that we lead off with Howard just like talking to a Peace Million staff member being like, so here's what's going on. There's 5 forces. There's White Fang.
Thanks for the help,
There's
Howard. I
Oz.
needed it.
There's the Gundams. There's the colony people. And then the kid's like, well, who's the 5th force? And he's like, us, idiot.
Which is like the fact that he has to ask, because he said there's 5. I could have named the 3. I don't think the people of the colonies who don't fight or do anything count, especially when you also could include the people on Earth in the same breath as that.
Well, no. See, if
That's
they
6,
don't want to
baby.
fight, they can simply vote.
God,
Gundam Wing is a show about liberalism. We've done it.
Y'all-
We've cracked the code.
you don't understand liberals. We're ready to vote right now.
Anyways, we find out that White Fang ended up also just like stealing Libra from Oz. So like, not only did Tubarov like build the mobile doll system from the ground up and advance it to the Virgos based on the Mercurius and the V8, and then like he got tasked with building this massive battleship, and he did it in no time flat by exploiting his workers. But he also, in like a moment's notice, got absolutely dusted by White Fang the minute they decided to turncoat. And then they also stole all of his mobile dolls and Libra, and they're going to use it against Oz now.
It's so fucking funny. Like, the scale at which they had to do this is completely unhinged. Like, you could argue that it highlights how many people are sick of Oz and Romefeller's bullshit in space that are willing to turn on them and take over this, like, Death Star-sized facility. At the same time, how'd they do that?
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I've
not really
pointed
clear
out-
the timing that would require this to happen. but it sure happened.
Because this is all the same year.
Yeah, I don't understand. How do they have this giant fuck-off spaceship?
Yeah, it's also wild because they fast forward through a lot of, like, getting to and from outer space. Time is just kind of as made up as all of these characters' ages.
It's outstanding. It's so fucking great. So after Howard exposits about the 5 sides of this war, and immediately he's like, oh yeah, it's going to be 4 sides actually, because we're going to join the Gundam team. It's like, all right, so your explanation's immediately useless. Thanks, Howard. We see Romefeller are fighting like militant remnants on Earth. Romefeller is here to enact Queen Relina's one world nation plan, and Hero comes in Wing Zero fighting Romefeller because he's Relina's enemy right now. Remember, he's going to kill her. He said it last week. How could you forget?
Yeah.
How can anyone forget?
He gives us a very
How could you
forget? Polite reminder too, in case you did actually forget. Like they show it in the intro narration, and then it also cuts to him destroying all these Oz Romefeller troops, and he's like, Relina, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. We cut to a meeting in Bremen of Romefeller, and like Relina is talking to everyone on this round table about how, or she's like kind of thinking to herself how Romefeller is essentially using her. But she recognizes this because she addresses the group and she says, hey, we're telling the entire world to disarm and become one world nation. When a ruler calls on others to put down their weapons, a ruler must be the first to do so. And Dermail gets so fucking mad at her.
Dude he turns screams. Up to 11 immediately.
Yeah. He
was so anti
hates
this.
He's really very much just screaming, that's your opinion.
You old fart, you put her in charge.
Yeah, this was your goddamn choice.
I will say it was a cute character moment that like he realized that everyone was like staring at him as he was screaming, and he's like, I've made a fool of myself. It's like, yeah, you did. Congrats on realizing it.
More like Duke der Fail.
Got his ass.
We won't have to get his ass for very long here, let's say.
Nope.
Yeah, his ass gets got.
Dermail like believes that he's thinking for Romefeller as a whole, but Relina's like, let's ask the class. And Varage and the others are like, well, we have, actually, sir, we haven't really agreed on a stance, and maybe Queen Relina might be right. Dermail's fucked himself over so hard by putting Relina in charge.
I think the funny thing is this where Dermail kind of like says, or no, is this where Wayridge kind of like repents for a moment? Or is this the meeting?
That's later.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple like private
this
executive meetings that happen in these episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they kind of run together a bit.
A lot of meetings. A lot of...
So
that
this
sounds
is
like Gundam to me.
A lot of bureaucracy.
It's after this that we bounce back to space, right? We bounce out to Noin and the Gundam boys. They say that they should just give up. Katra, I think, specifically says they should give up on Wu Fei and just take on White Fang.
I think he's also right. I agree.
And it's like, this is the first time in a long time, kind of truly the first time we've seen all these boys in one space, too.
It's been a minute.
It has been a long while. Like, you would think with the premise of the show of there being 5 Gundam boys that they would have gotten together and stayed together and done the work, but no. They got together once and then went separate ways, and it's taken 40 episodes for them to get back together.
But by God, they did it.
And while they're all like dishing and chatting, Howard sends an encrypted message to their shuttle, and it's addressed to Duo, which is cute.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you remember when I worked on your Gundam?
I got a mission for you, kid.
Can I do that again?
You want to do a thing for me?
Yeah.
Immediately after,
it's a sweet little exchange.
I like it. It's nice. I love Howard. He rules. And then we immediately cut. He's just silly. He's a fucking Jimmy Buffett shirt, and he's like commander of a giant like military battleship. Like, what more could you want? We immediately cut back to Earth. Dermail is talking to Dorothy, his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Lest we forget. He's still so fucking mad about Relina.
Yeah, he's extremely red and mad. And he like basically verbatim, he does not say the word, but he very heavily implies, he's like, well, I could just have her. And then he's like, you know.
What if Relina was to have a certain accident?
Yeah. And Dorothy's don't fucking do that. What are you, stupid? Everyone would immediately know it was you.
First of all, yes, he is stupid, but go off. Dorothy knows. She's like, yeah, military intervention on her behalf would very quickly happen if anything were to happen to her. So she gives him an even worse idea.
Yeah. She's like, well, why don't you actually go to outer space and build your army up there to fight White Fang? And, like, you know, that way you're like, oh, you're protecting the Earth. Like, he's setting the example for the people. This is a really good example. I'm
frustrated with it.
Yeah, but this is a really good example of Dorothy doing what Dorothy does, which is pulling people's strings, like, very much, like, getting under people's skins and into their brain and, like, really getting them to do what she wants.
Mm-hmm. She's nice.
And I wouldn't say that.
He's a girl boss.
That one, much closer to the truth. Yeah, she just got a lot of hands and a lot of cookie jars, that one does.
On the triangle of gatekeep, gaslight, girl boss, she is very much in between girl boss and gaslight.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. She's off the fucking chart.
Mm-hmm. Lest we forget, the gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss triangle is actually a gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss Gundam tetrahedron.
Yeah. Noin is in the center.
Noin is in the perfect center, holding all the edges together.
Thank God Dorothy gets nowhere near the Gundam part of it.
Oh my God. Would you think about that one for a moment?
My mind is racing. My mind is racing.
So Dorothy ends up, like, finding Relina and talking with her, and she's like, oh yeah, like, by the way, my grandfather's leaving for the weekend. Do you want to come over and party? And she's, like, really hinting at, like, oh, Relina, he's going to be gone. You can say whatever you want now that he's gone. You can really push for whatever moves you want to make. Wink. Nudge. They head over to the Parliament building, and we see Hero getting in an Oz soldier uniform. This is so funny.
Piece together what's going to happen in a little bit.
He does cock his gun preemptively.
It is hilarious to me that we get a moment like this for Hero, whereas, like, we just find Troa in the cockpit of a Leo at one point. Like, he's like, no, I'm in Oz now. Don't worry about how I got here.
I mean, damn, you know what? Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, that was like 20 episodes ago.
Yeah, God, this show's been going on for so long. We go back into space, and Wu Fei is attacking the battleship Liberal. We finally learn its name. They activate the Libra's beam cannons, and, like, it's not quite complete. It's a Death Star 2 situation, but it's fine. They, like, start firing. First of all, I love how Star Fox 64 ass, like, this thing looks. Oh my God, there's a fucking Andros monkey lieutenant inside this thing commanding it.
Absolutely. It is a square with 4 giant squares attached at the corner of the baby square. It is the most fucking, like, Nintendo 64 like, shoot 'em up ass boss. It rules. It's so bullshit sci-fi. I fucking love it. Like, okay, Peace Million looks stupid compared to this. Report.
We get a quick cutaway. Relina's addressing the Parliament crowd about, you know, all the confrontation and battle is happening. She says that the only way to avoid confrontation is to become one body. We all need to unite. And Hero just, like, pulls a gun on her from the rafters. He's like up on a balcony
John Wilkes Booth her ass. And then, like, while she's giving the speech, she looks up and sees him. And, like, she finishes her speech. She finishes her speech and he starts to take aim, and it is dead silent. Like, no one in the crowd approved of anything Relina just said. And just for, like, a beat too long, it's this awkward silence. And Hero's like, all right, I'm gonna pull the trigger. And then someone starts clapping. And, like,
we get a fucking epic audience, slow clap.
Yeah, the whole audience joins in, and they're, like, actually behind Relina's plan, which is great. Like, the people of Earth are planning to disarm and step forward as one nation, and it's like, oh my God, we're so close to getting the thing that Relina fucking actually wants.
Oh, you know we're not going to get it.
You know we're not going to get it.
Like, almost immediately, too.
And as soon as the clapping starts, too, Hero like puts his gun down and he's like, unified space and Earth, huh? Okay, Relina, I won't kill you yet.
It's
like,
really funny.
My boy.
Because, like, he has to know that's not going to fucking work.
He wants it to, though.
Like, I guess,
so bad.
What the fuck is his reasoning here? That if they didn't clap for her, he would have fucking shot and killed her? Because he's like, oh, her ideas were shit. No one would have missed her if she was gone. Like, what?
It's wild because the reason he was going to kill her is because she brought on this false peace, right? And right now, his enemy is anyone who fights. And so this false peace, there's still fighting going on, which means she didn't do anything, which he means he needs to eliminate her since she's in charge of the people protecting this false peace. It's not great. It's not great ideology, and it's not executed very well, in my opinion.
No!
But because the fact that she is actually proposing disarmament and seems to have convinced everyone to agree with it, he's like, oh, the peace might be real. I'm going to let you see this through.
Oh, it just kind of clicked for me too. Yeah, because this is her enacting a plan that actually doesn't need people to back it up with military force for the first fucking time.
That's the thing. Like, the rest of her total pacifism kind of required an armed guard 99% of the time to actually do anything.
Right, and now that she's in a position to get everyone to actually lay down their arms, because there's no Sank Kingdom and Oz, there's no Sank Kingdom and Romefeller, there's the world nation that she is, like, advocating for everyone to disarm for. So it's like, oh, it could work, but this is also a Gundam show, so it's not going to.
No, of course not.
It could work. Hey, what show am I in, by the way? Back in space, Wu Fei continues to fight around the battleship Liberal. They don't give a shit on the inside of the command room there. They just fire the laser cannons anyway. They just eradicate, like, all the mobile dolls that were out there fighting Wu Fei, and they think they got Wu Fei, but, like, it's a Gundam, so they didn't.
Hilariously, this is, like, Wu Fei, like, just, he's fine after this massive blast from the Libra's, like, onboard cannons. It's fucking wild because, like, they really did annihilate so many of their own troops.
I guess you could argue that they don't care about the troops that they took from Romefeller because they're all mobile dolls. But at the same time, it's like this reckless fucking abandon and lack of care for your battling force is very easily proving that they're not going to blast a hole along these White Fang folks.
Yeah. And then Wu Fei says something that I do want to highlight because we hear it at least one more time from another character later. He says because White Fang is just doing the same shit that Oz was doing in space, they are not necessary in space.
Yeah. And we've, like, heard that a lot of times of people, like, not being necessary.
Yeah.
So the next scene we get, Sidici Jim Belushi, or maybe it was John Belushi. I already forget which Belushi brother he is. He doesn't understand why the Gundams are still going after them. And, oh yeah, by the way, fucking Zex is here in Libra. He's like, oh, the Gundams fight for Earth now. And Zex is like, now would be a great time to consolidate all the colonies in space.
Actually, he is presenting as Miliardo.
Oh, that's right. It gets so fucking confusing because characters still call him Zex, even though they clearly haven't read the memo.
It's extra confusing when...
It's extra confusing? Go on.
I hate everything that you stand for.
Very good.
When now Milwardo Peacecraft is the militaristic one.
He's Militariardo Peacecraft. Warcraft.
I'm leaving this podcast.
He's War of Warcraft.
I knew it.
We did it. We've done it.
Oh my god, how have we not made a World of Peacecraft joke on this yet? Where's Griffin McElroy?
Already did it.
Have we really not? Have we exhibited that much restraint?
I
don't know if it's restraint or just...
Okay, to be fair, I forgot about Peacecraft until just recently.
Yeah. I think it's more that this show really just pushes us to our fucking mental limit every week, that we don't really have the wherewithal to think of other things.
Yeah. I'll be honest, at this point of this show, it should be obvious, but I have like a fucking summary that I write. I have not written notes.
Yeah, no, you're just vibing, baby.
It's you know what? It feels right for me.
Yeah. I think we'll regain a tiny last bit of steam when we hit Endless Waltz, and then the wrap-up's just going to be all of us going, who fucking cares?
I wouldn't say I'm checked out, but like I'm doing my all.
You're not checked out, but you're packing up to leave the hotel room.
That's valid.
Can't get excited for Endless Waltz yet. I can't do it because I will start to lose my mind preemptively.
You know why I'm excited about Endless Waltz? I've never seen the goddamn movie.
Oh no!
I want to see the literal. I mean, I know.
Yep.
I know the thing with Endless Waltz is that the robots aren't actually different. That's just what they look like in the movie. But I also want to see the angel wings.
The angel wings are they fucking rip. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a metaphor. Do you get it?
They're all very cool. Is the issue.
Also, the recolors for everything are pretty rad. I personally think there's one like specific downgrade, which is Ultron. But like I don't love purple Sandrock. I like the black and yellow Sandrock a lot better. But purple Sandrock is cool, and the recolor for Heavy Arms is like very cool. Anyways, Relina has some stuff to say. She really pushes for the unification of Earth and space. That's when Hero falters, and then we bounce back to outer space where Howard is helping prep Sandrock for space travel and space flight.
He can't do anything for Heavy Arms, obviously, because they don't know where it is right now.
Yeah, Troa, he's like, I want a Gundam.
Yeah.
You get the white Virgo.
You get a white Taurus, Troa. Deal with it.
Fuck off.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Duo who asks him like where it is, and he just kind of like shrugs.
Yeah,
he's just like I don't fucking know.
And Duo also asks Howard why he's helping them, and Howard's like, "Oh, it's my responsibility. I helped work on the Gundams. More specifically, I helped make the tall geese." And they're like, "What, Howard? You old dog?" Oh yeah, and then we get a fun little White Fang Skyping the world. We see Quinceañera on screen.
It's pronounced cans.
We
like
see
the film
Keen's in his
festival?
nice cans
Thanks, I hate
on screen. He makes a declaration of war to Earth. He says that the Earth attacked White Fang and the colonies with Gundams, which is not true, but he's kind of taking advantage of Wu Fei going sicko mode on like the entire Earth sphere right now.
Yeah,
so you know what? That's kind of Wu Fei's fault.
Tragic to see this happen because they've just been kind of like flooding troops out there, and Wu Fei is just like, I will fight, I will fight, I will fight. And they've just been snapshotting every single time he does.
It's just, I mean, they got him on tape, you know? You can't be ignored. As this happens, Dermail's entire fucking battle fleet is in space. They're traveling. He's taken Dorothy's advice so well. He's doing so good. Good on you, sweetie. But then, and as they're heading to Barge, they do get picked up by a White Fang, a incredibly large White Fang battalion. And, well, goodbye, Duke Dermail.
Goodbye,
Oopsie.
Duke Dermail.
Rest in piss.
Gone the way of so many before him.
It honestly did feel very... I mean, hell, it calls back to the original Gundam series with General Revel and Daegwin being like fucking killed in like their sort of peace meeting. Admittedly, Dermail was not going to outer space for peaceful reasons, but we can ignore that part and just draw the conclusion that they were all killed by a big laser.
Yeah.
One of the wildest things about this is that this seems to have been part of Dorothy's plan because we like...
I think it was, absolutely.
But how did she know he was going to get shot down? But it cuts down to the ground, right? And we see her react, and she is hamming it up in front of people. And she immediately turns around and starts like whispering to herself like, yes, thank God that fucking old man is dead. I hate him. This battle's gonna be awesome.
But she loves that he died an honorable soldier.
Boo.
Cans announces that the colonies will unite as one, just like the Earth has, and that White Fang has a new leader. Wouldn't you know it? It's Milliardo Peacecraft. We will eliminate Earth. Goodbye.
Peacecraft. No mask, no nothing. He's not even wearing the red anymore.
I don't... Is he gonna get it?
He was. I feel like he was wearing it when he first showed up. He was wearing it when he first showed up on Libra, and he wasn't wearing the mask. He was just wearing the red outfit. And then when he shows up and like reveals himself to be the leader of White Fang, he's in that gray, like that olive drab, like trench coat with the like ascot, the nice shirt. And then we get this little closing scene that I love very much, where Hiro is watching Zex announce himself, and he says Zex has chosen the future Epion showed him, and Hiro has chosen a different future. And then he points at the screen and thinks to himself. He doesn't even say it out loud. He just thinks to himself the word bang and like pretends to shoot his little finger gun.
Yeah. And we get a tiny little thing of Trey's smiling, happily walking away from his laptop as he watched Miliardo's address.
I hate
the freak
that
is coming out of the shadows and into the light.
I
should have stayed out.
I've wanted nothing more than for Trey's and Dorothy to interact. I don't think we'll ever actually get that, but goddamn, I want that so badly.
I mean, it sounds like it happened in the past. We just don't get it.
Yeah.
True.
We'll talk about that when we get to it, huh?
Yeah. Moving on to the next episode, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that one's mine.
That's yours.
Episode 41. Crossfire at Barge. Trace dismisses Relina from her position because he reasons now that she has laid out the foundation for peace will provide the military might required to actually bring it to fruition. As she and Dorothy head for space separately, so do Hiro and Sally Poe, take the long wing and the Sandrock, or the heavy arm that Sally delivered to Hiro. When Duo, Trilla, and Katra and Noin intervene against the White Fang's attack on Barge in hopes of finding out why Zex declared war on Earth, makes his intention clear by single-handedly destroying Barge with Epion. It fucks.
God.
You know what also fucks?
This new intro.
Rhythm Emotion?
Rhythm Emotion is
so
here,
good.
baby.
It's so good.
What am I feeling? Oh, that's right. I just feel Rhythm Emotion. This, oh my god. We, like, the fucking, that we get it here. We fucking get it here. We've heard it as a fucking AMV at the end of each episode, but like, we get it here. It's so good.
New intro, animatic, and everything too.
Yeah,
the animation is very clean.
It's so
particularly
cool.
enjoy it.
So
and I don't know how much of that is. I got tired of 41 episodes of the old one.
Yeah, fucking. We get this for 8 episodes, 9 episodes. Like that's wild to me. It's like you couldn't just do half and half.
No,
it's just I don't know. No, I guess that, hey, you know what? I guess that absence makes the heart grow fonder, or whatever the fuck they say.
Oh, absolutely. It also whips that the first time we heard the song was when, like, the Epion started going fucking sicko mode.
And, like, the best part is, we don't stop hearing Rhythm Emotion as the AMV song at the end of episodes now that it's the opening. They still do it. They can't help it.
It's fucking awesome.
So this one, we get a new narration at the beginning of this episode about, it's just about Zex leading a little White Fang, you know. And then we cut to Sayla Mass from Gundam 0079.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have that in my notes as well. It's Sayla from Gundam Wing.
It's so, Julia, for the uninitiated, the short-haired blonde woman with like the sort of pointy hair, like curled out to the side, who's like on the bridge of the Libra. She looks like pretty much exactly like one of the main characters in the first Gundam series. That's all there is to it.
I appreciate the additional context.
But it's just weird that she has literally the exact same hairstyle.
I assume that is a callback on purpose.
I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest.
Definitely not. Yeah, because like she's not doing anything Sayla would do. Sayla would never man a fucking like fuck you battleship. She would rather like.
Hang on. She did help take charge of Whiteface, and she did also pilot the Gundam on a couple occasions.
Yeah, but like this is different. She's just sitting here like the fake Sayla is sitting here pressing a laser that kills people, like, and is probably aware that she's doing something wrong. The other Sayla was like fighting. I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
This is not Sayla.
It's not.
She looks like Sayla.
Yeah.
The battle has begun here. I kind of realized this whole episode is kind of like pretty self-contained. They did a good job with this one here.
Barge is
like
fucking under attack.
This whole episode is pretty much. Yeah. It's literally the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah, it's the Battle of the spaceship Bulge.
Which is funny that like I never like looked it up at all, so I didn't kind of realize until recently that it's Bulge, not Barge.
Right.
Like, and the whole thing is like, yeah, because it's really big, so we named it Bulge. This is bulging, this is so large, and it's like, well, I'm gonna call it Barge, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like Bulma's kid, Bulla. Like the whole gimmick for Dragon Ball Z is that Bulma's family is their names of underwear. So you have Bulma, which is Buruma, which is like bloomers. Then you have Trunks, and then I think her dad is Dr. Briefs or something like that.
That's right.
And then Bulla is Buddha, which is bra. It's like, it's one of those weird translations, but like it still kind of comes across. But like, it's weird to name your kid bra, and it's weird to name your spaceship bulge. So maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Trunks is funny. Bra is kind of weird.
It's funny, but Dragon Ball Akira Toriyama loves his fucking like code names.
Yeah, he loves potty humor.
So the battle has begun. We see the White Fang. They have their like olive drab Virgos now with like this sort of like greenish yellow.
They've been painted up.
Dark beige.
And the thing is, not all of their Virgos have been painted up. And I do want to highlight these are Virgo 2s, and you can really only tell because they have like these nicer verniers on the back. They have like these taller jet engines that you can see. But yeah, this I forgot to mention this while we were still talking about it, but like I like that this episode is self-contained because this is like, it's White Fang versus Oz in outer space. Like after this, there's basically just going to be one enemy in space. And they do kind of highlight that. And I think that's a really good way to like set the tone for the episode and build up to the payoff that we get. Is well executed for a single episode.
Yeah, the payoff of having less assholes to keep track of.
Yeah, because they are absolutely fucking running out of time to do it.
Yeah.
We see Epion enter the battlefield, flying through, beating ass.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, though, the Gundam team here, they don't know it's Zex in the Epion. They assume it's Hero.
Which, I don't, like, how do they know that?
Because they knew...
I assume...
knowing
that they
when they
did
did fight at the Sank Kingdom, Hero was in Epion.
Yeah,
that's
right.
The
only reason why they're assuming that. They don't know that Hero and Zex switched their Gundams around.
Right.
And it makes sense that Hero would be joining White Fang's side and fighting alongside the colonies. Like that would definitely be their assumption here.
True. And Noin is talking to the boys, and she's basically like, I'm gonna fly off on my own and go meet up with Zex and talk to him and see what's going on. And Katra's like, Noin, that's a terrible plan. Can I at least go with you? Like, he's not trying to stop her, which I love. He's very much like, can I go with you? Can I escort you? And then Duo pops out and he's like, well, I want in on the action. And then he turns around and he's like, did you catch all that? And Troa walks up and he's like, yes, I would also like in on the action.
It's good. It's so good. We cut back to Earth. Hero's taking down more Romefeller assholes. He sees like one of those big old, he sees like an escape shuttle to space, and he's like, my enemy's in space. And he looks over and he sees a cargo shuttle heading in, and wouldn't you know it, it's Sally fucking Poe.
Yeah, he takes aim and they're like signaling to him. They're like flashing a headlight on this carrier, and he's like, huh? And then he like reads the signal he's getting, and he's like, Sally Poe? Just like everyone else in the audience.
Confusion.
Yeah. Really fucking honestly, good to see Sally
standing here.
Oh God.
Yeah. I am the lads on the couch now that Sally Poe is back.
Yeah. She says that she has a package for Hero, a Gundam shaped package.
Yeah, a very Gundam shaped package.
It's on the same truck all of them always are on. I don't understand.
Yeah.
They're always in this fucking cart.
That I really love about this as well is that she's just like, yeah, it was a pain in the ass to find. You can get it to the pilot, right? And he's like, you don't know where Troa is? And she's like, no, I thought you would. He's like, I don't have a fucking clue where Troa is.
I don't know shit about fuck.
I think as far as Hiro's concerned, does he know Troa's alive?
You know?
The rest of them do, but I honestly don't know if Hero does.
Yeah, he's just kind of vibing by himself, huh?
God.
And like as enemies coming in, he flies off and takes care, and Sally like doesn't even notice the enemies at first. But she kind of like muses to herself that Hero's different now. He's not as abrasive or hard to approach as he was before. Ironically enough, war has made the boy a little bit softer.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. Oh, and this is when he slashes through an Ares, I think, and then turns towards the camera so we get a silhouette from the explosion and flies toward the camera, and we get this sick shot of a zoom in on the Wing Zero's eye.
Fucking sick.
I tried to screenshot it, but Verve does the Netflix thing where you can't screenshot on it, which I'm furious about, because it actually really fucking cool. You can see a bunch of the mechanical stuff I don't think we've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's a bunch of really cool detailing that we've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's gorgeous. I love when they remind you, yeah, these are robots, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, hey, reminder.
We get it. We go to Bremen now. Verge is lamenting that the last two priestcrafts are now mortal enemies. He does a little prayer and apologizes to King Peacecraft in heaven that he essentially sent his descendants into war. And speaking of heaven, Trace walks into the room.
God.
He's here now.
He's here. He's back.
And ready to be
Does
normal.
He have to be? I've been enjoying a trays-less experience.
Yeah, it's an unlucky number.
God.
Well, we had him for the appetizer, and now it's time for the entrees.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
All right.
We cut to Verlina thinking that Miliardo is in the wrong for fighting. Like, this isn't the answer, brother. She kind of either hears something or just gets a weird feeling and starts to wander around the palace. By the way, really cool lighting in this scene where it's like sunset, but the entire sky is black and the sun is blood red. So it's just very sinister lighting. It's weirdly peaceful and quiet. It's it's not a normal evening. And maybe you think that she was in a colony at first with the way the lighting was so fucked up, but no, it's just like that, I guess. She ends up meeting with Trace in a banquet hall. And he just straight up informs her that she's been relieved of her duties as representative and asks her to step down from being queen. And she's like, yeah, okay, why not?
Queen for a single day.
Queen for a day. We should all be so lucky. It's so great.
It was her make-a-wish.
Because she knows Hero's gonna fucking kill her. She says that first, before she steps down, she has to convince Miliardo to stop fighting. And Trace is like, you can't do that. You're not capable of that. And he's like, I'm going to be the one to take over Romofeller now. And he opens a window symbolically as he says, Relina, you're free.
Yeah.
And she just decides to go to space.
Echoing his whole thing with the damn birds again.
Yeah, he says some shit about it's not right to keep Relina locked in Romofeller or something. And it's she wasn't really locked. She was the figure.
Yeah, she was definitely acting to stay intentionally. But he says some shit about you can be free to chase your bliss or whatever. You can see the peace that you need or some it's so weird because she was literally on the way to getting the whole world to disarm, and Trace is just no, I think I'm gonna do war for you instead. Go have fun. Bye.
Yeah.
And she's just sure, whatever.
Yeah, and she just decides to go to space to chase after Miliardo, and wouldn't you know it, Dorothy's gonna follow her. Yay! We never get to have Dorothy out of the camera for too long. Too important.
God. Oh, I hope Dorothy doesn't do anything fucked up in space.
I'm looking into the camera. The Battle of the Bulge continues back in space. Miliardo
this is where the episode picks up again, and it gets fucking good.
Yeah, so for this entire sequence, pretty much, we do not see Miliardo's face at all. It is only close-ups to his eye or his mouth. It's just he's in shadow, very darkened by war, because he's just tearing through the fucking Tauruses, and he's they're lifeless dolls. They aren't my enemy, not even worth my time.
Is this the sequence where we get those really good moments of him moving and then it cutting to the Gundam moving, G Gundam style? Oh my god, those cut-ins are so fucking good.
We finally, 41 fucking episodes into the show, we finally get a shot of a just regular ship bridge, which is kind of wild that we did. We've seen people in the cockpits of shuttles, but I'm talking a White Baser Argama style bridge, because we see John Belushi, and he's the head of a bridge crew on a White Fang, I guess the White Fang sort of flagship in this battle, which is so wild. I really miss this from Gundam. I miss the bridge and the chatter and everything. It's such an underrated aspect of the series.
I agree, and I think it really speaks to what you said last week about this being much more of a shonen series. It definitely moved away from the real robot shit and the grittier war story side of it, focusing on the people in like battleships doing strategic battle against each other. Like there are moments like that, but nothing quite on this level for the last 40 episodes. As Noin and her gang approach the battlefield, Duo and the others are like, all right, time to get out there in our sick fucking mobile suits. And Troa is kind of relegated to a spare white Taurus, and he is the first to action, and he's like, I'm gonna go protect the people of the colonies. And he takes off. And Katra is like concerned. He's like, oh shit, Troa, don't go. And Noin's like, eyes up, like when they start getting blasted on. But we get this fucking wonderful, wonderful moment of the Death Scythe and Duo being like, the god of death is back on the battlefield. He engages the like beam part of his scythes, and Katra like pulls out his shotels, and like we get this like camera run down the shotel to the tip, and then like a little glimmer, and they are ready to battle. And as they like get ready to like fly into the thick of it, Epion shows up.
Dun dun.
They're like, what?
Huh?
And they are in a stunned silence, and then we get shots of this bridge, and they're like, fire the barge laser, fucking fire the barge laser. And Sayla's like, it's only at 80%, like, it could damage our systems if we fire it early. And the guy's like, I don't fucking care, fire it. Josh Belushi's just like, go, go, go. And they do, and Miliardo in Epion stands there until like the last moment and then swerves out of the way, like trying to be a badass. Duo and Katra get out of the way. Noin gets out of the way like just in time, but she's having a hard time with it.
Yeah. But John Belushi's having the hardest time of all, because he does get fucking vaporized by this explosion.
Yeah, the White Fang ship gets hit dead on and gets destroyed. And the laser continues on because it is massive, and it ends up slamming right into a colony they were fighting by.
It more clips it. It doesn't destroy the colony. The colony is fine. It's damaged, but it's not like...
that wasn't for lack of trying.
No, yeah. But like,
if that angle was any different, that colony would be dust.
Yeah, it wasn't like when Katra did it, let's say.
That's true. Sure. That's true.
Troa has a little bit of a freak out as he like sees the damage and like looks on barge and is like, fuck. And Miliardo begins attacking Duo and Katra, and they finally realize, oh shit, it's not Hero, it's Miliardo.
That's not Hero in there, yeah.
And then they once again begin charging Bulge to get ready to fire another laser.
Yeah, and then Noin confronts Zex, and she starts trying to talk to him. And the Gundam boys like take turns trying to go like one-on-one with Epion while Noin's trying to talk to him. And Rhythm of Motion kicks in, and Death Scythe and Sandrock are flying toward barge. And Noin and Zex like actually do, for a moment, like talk to each other.
It's good and it's sad because like she hasn't spoken to him in so long, and he just explains to her like, Earth is the source of all these disputes in space. I'm going to set everything right. And she's realizing like, oh shit, he's like fully bought into this. I can't say anything to him.
He's not the same guy anymore. And Epion, there's this really dramatic moment. Epion breaks away, and the Taurus, like Noin in the Taurus, like reaches a hand after him. And it's like, ooh, they're doing the thing where they humanize the mobile suits a little bit, and it's so like
sad.
Oh god. This is Troa comes back. He makes his way back from like he was gonna defend the colony, and now he kind of has to join the fight. And Duo and Katra are just like slashing their way through hordes of like Tauruses and these Oz mobile dolls, and the barge cannon readies to fire one more time.
And so this is the trivia I was talking about, because as the barge cannon is getting ready to fire, both this time and the
Please
earlier
never
in the
call
episode,
it the bulge cannon.
I corrected myself as I was saying it.
The bulge cannon's gonna blow its load.
Oh no!
Oh, are you shocked that I'm the one that said the bad thing?
Oh, no.
I've done it before. I'll do it again.
This is a threat and a promise. They talk about it sounds like random technical jargon. They're like, the HKS pressure balance is raising, the TRD bypass unit's ready, DFE chamber pressure, BBS system. Hey, Whoever wrote this episode is a fucking car fan. These are all automotive terms.
I love it.
So, the HKS pressure balance is referring to HKS, which is a Japanese auto aftermarket part manufacturer. The TRD bypass unit, TRD is Toyota Racing Development. DFV chamber pressure refers to the Cosworth DFV, which is a Formula One engine in the 90s, I believe.
Hell yeah.
And the BBS system, BBS is a German aftermarket wheel manufacturer. So, what the hell?
Wow, cool car.
It's when I compared Gundams to cars, I didn't realize that I was playing into the fucking writer's hands, but I was.
They fucking got your ass.
It's just kind of wild that it's just kind of crazy that you could have changed the name of the barge to be an automotive term or something, you know? This is the carburetor. Right. I don't know. Something silly like that. Sayla is about to fire the barge cannon at full power. The boys aren't going to make it. But of course, Miliardo flies in even faster than them because the Epion go fast. He does the badass Gundam thing of flying from below right in front of the bridge window, giving everyone a good scare before he just cuts through it and kills everyone.
So fucking cool.
And yeah, the bulge fucking is gone. It blows up entirely. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and now space has kind of effectively been won by a bunch of Jack London fans.
This is a good episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a third one. I don't remember if this one was good or not, but we'll find out as we talk about it, I suppose.
This one was insane, Max.
Yeah,
okay.
This was a very
you
good
made
one.
You made yourself forget about it.
I did.
Now you get to relive it.
Because I've watched it at work. I got paid to do this.
Hell yeah.
Episode 42 of New Mobile Report Gundam Wing. Battleship Libra. As survivors from Barge land on Earth, we learn that both Nickel and Lady Un are alive and well, though Un is still in a coma. Trace goes to see her and then addresses the world leaders, saying they need to unite against White Fang to attain peace for Earth. Meanwhile, Wu Fei continues to fight both Oz and White Fang to the point where Ultron is nearly totaled. He's rescued by Hero and Sally Po, and after experiencing the Zero system for himself, he realizes he needs to ally with the other Gundam pilots in order to take out his true enemies, Miliardo and Trace. At the same time, Miliardo addresses the world, denouncing the Earth and all those who live in it, saying the Earth needs to be eliminated in order for the colonists to live in the peace they strive for. Lastly, Dorothy lands in Libra, promising to never leave Zex's side as Relina also heads to the battleship, knowing only she can stop her brother.
God.
What a doozy.
Yeah, it's
kind of a mess.
Ooh, I want off Gundam's wild ride, please.
Only 7 more episodes.
This is the part of the roller coaster where you start to go up and you keep expecting it to stop going up, and then you start to get really afraid.
It just keep going. So this episode starts out as shuttles from Barge, rescue shuttles, land on Earth. We see freaking Nickel, who's just been digging around this whole time, I guess.
Fucking alive, I guess. Of all the people to still be alive.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Well, there's one other person of all people
okay,
to still
yeah,
be alive.
they do.
We already knew she was alive.
Okay,
we've
but
known she was alive the whole time.
But still,
we do see a biopod, and we hear talk about someone who is shot and their wounds are healing and they're in a coma, and then it does explicitly cut to the inside of that pod, and it is in fact Lady Un.
Mm-hmm.
She died, but she's fine.
She died, but she's fine.
It's just what this show does. It kills people, but they're fine.
They're fine. She's in the hospital now, and Trace brings the world's biggest bouquet of comedy roses. There must be at least 50 fucking roses in this bouquet. It's gigantic. It's so funny.
Yeah,
There's no expense.
How did this not happen sooner? Because
they forgot that Trace was a character until now.
I know Trace was grounded, but who was in the mansion with him? Because we saw someone and it looked a lot like Lady Un.
I thought it was Un. I think we all thought it was Un. But it
same outfit,
wasn't.
Same haircut, same voice actress. That's a Lady Un, toe to tip.
Toe to tip, that's an Un.
Trace talks very lovingly to Lady Un while she's laying unconscious on this hospital bed. And he's talking about how he's doing what he thinks has to be done. And then we see him at a Romefeller session, in front of everyone. He's Yeah, I think what Relina was doing was stupid, actually, and now that I'm in charge, I'm just going to make a unilateral decision and declare war against White Fang to unify the Earth. Like, you guys get it. Like, we're fighting White Fang so that everyone on Earth can join together. And it's just, God, unravels the last 3 episodes in a single
That's the
stroke.
thing, right? We've made so much progress, and it all falls apart again.
I know.
I just want it to make sense.
Make it make sense. And it's like everyone like Trace is basically saying the exact same thing Relina wanted, except he says we're going to do it through war instead of peace. And like, we just get immediate rapturous applause. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we missed you, Trace.
People go ape shit. They
war
are
again.
hooting,
Let's
they are
fucking go.
hollering.
It's a lot. And he like silently asks Lady Un to forgive him for putting on such a performance.
Yeah, he
you
says
clown,
something
man.
about like being a bad actor.
Yeah. He's once again on his like weird acting shit. Whatever, Trace. We get a little scene of Relina heading into space. She's like, this is the 3rd time I've been in space. And she's heading towards Libra, presumably to like convince Zex or Emiliar to be like, hey, don't do that. And then the next scene is, there's a White Fang carrier heading to battle. It has more Oz troops. It's heading to battle with more Oz troops. This is I like this scene quite a bit, this whole sort of like little battle here, because White Fang is talking about how they're fighting Oz, despite the fact that Trace is once again leading Oz, and like a lot of White Fang are made up of Trace faction soldiers who departed from Oz. So it's like a lot of weird like interfactionality going on here, which I quite like.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But it doesn't matter because Wu Fei's going to kill all of them no matter what side they're on. So it's a moot point, I suppose.
Boy's just here to fight.
It's literally all he knows how to do.
What is it that they say, like, he does things his own way, and like that sure is right, but he shouldn't.
Yeah, probably shouldn't. So there's like this one Oz soldier here who, as he's watching Wu Fei fight, he sees his resolve and he sees the Gundam's resolve, and he realizes that like, both White Fang and Oz are mistaken. It's a shame that like I'll never live to see them realize that, as he kamikazes himself into a White Fang carrier.
Yeah,
which
like, buddy, if that's what you get from watching Wu Fei fight, like, I think you're getting the wrong message a little bit.
Yeah, not quite the takeaway it was probably intended for you, my friend.
God. And then Wu Fei just like in Ultron just takes a ton of blasts and then decides to stop getting beat up and finishes the fight. But Ultron is in like bad shape. Like, he gets like a system report and he's like reading it out to us, and he's like, we see like one of the joints on Ultron just like leaking air, and he's basically like, Nataku, you can't fail now, we can't fail now. And like it just kind of like fades to black on him, and then we get another narration.
Yeah, it was weird that we get like a mid-episode. I guess we've gotten a couple mid-episode narrations anyway, but it's just about like how White Fang is in their Libra and Trace is like still uniting those on Earth under Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And like this whole time Wu Fei's kind of been meditating, just, eyes closed, chilling out in Ultron. And this strange shuttle space pod approaches him. And we cut back to Cans talking to Miliardo. We learn, hey, apparently the Libra is somehow complete. Whatever. It's time to do a funny comedy villain speech on Earth. Yay!
Yay! What is? I don't think I have any of his actual announcement written down. But after he does his speech, he quietly like says something to Trace himself. It's like something like, "I'm sorry we had to end up on opposite sides of this," or something along those lines.
Yeah, I guess it'd be easiest to talk about, because like the pretty much the rest of the episode is like cutting back and forth of Miliardo's speech to the Earth. So effectively, the sort of cliff notes of it is that obviously White Fang is aligned against Earth itself. He talks about how like Oz alliance doesn't fucking matter.
Yes.
They're all the enemy here.
The World Nation, one of the things he says is the World Nation is basically the Alliance again. He's like, you remember what the Alliance did? They showed up in space and used military power to dominate you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so effectively, the world nation has not broken the cycle. And he's like, to do that, we have to eliminate the Earth.
Yeah, he says we need to killing Earthlings will end wars. And like, as Trace watches him say this, Trace is like, yeah, he's kind of right. He says that humans can overcome their base instincts by being in space. Colonists are a new breed of humans who can know peace by controlling themselves. Miliardo, hold on, buddy. Wrong Gundam series. We don't do those here, except for Katra, who is one. He's a new guy.
That
No one else.
Really familiar. There's a new breed doesn't have the right ring to it.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I don't know about.
I don't like the word breed. Just
the internet's kind of ruined that one.
Yeah.
He talks about how colony citizens can't fight, so we fight on their behalf because of the Earthlings trying to conquer them all the time. And he basically says we're going to eliminate Earth in the war to end all wars.
Yeah. In the meantime, while this is happening, like Max said, it kind of cuts back and forth. We see Wu Fei gets picked up by Sally Poe, and he walks onto the bridge and sees Hiro, and he sees like the Wing Zero, and he's like, "Isn't that Zex's mobile suit? Like, what are you, crazy?" And Hiro's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then Sally starts to like try to sweet talk Wu Fei. It's very funny. She's just like, "You should just like come and fight with us. I think that'd be really nice." And Wu Fei's like, "What if I kill you and steal the ship and the Gundams?" And she's like, "Yeah, but like, what if you didn't?" And Wu Fei like kind of settles down. She's like, like we have your interests at heart, so like maybe we could benefit each other, something along those lines. And Wu Fei is like, I'll stick to my own terms. And then they immediately get surrounded by a ton of Virgos from White Fang. And Hiro and Wu Fei, I think, goes first. He's like, I'll get in Nataku and keep fighting. And Sally's like, that's stupid. Your Gundam's gonna explode. And Hiro's like, she's right. You are stupid. Take the Wing Zero.
Yeah. And he says, don't get disillusioned by its cockpit system.
Oh my God.
That sure is a way of phrasing that.
Yeah.
Instead of anything else.
The interesting thing is, maybe the secret to not getting fucked up by the Zero system was just being a misogynist, because like,
He's all the people with it.
Of all the people to experience the Zero system, Wu Fei is like normal, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking wild. He gets out there on the battlefield, starts fighting, and he's loving the Wing Zero's performance. He is absolutely annihilating these Virgos, and he has this one moment, this brief vision of himself getting like blasted in the back, and we see that like yellow tint in his eyes and that yellow background, so we know it's a Zero system vision. But he keeps fighting, and he sees this huge vision of Treize cast among the stars, and he's like, Treize, is Treize my enemy? And he keeps fighting, and he sees like Zex in I think it's in the Epion. He sees this vision of Zex, and then he shoots it or like stabs it
through it. And it turns out to be another one of the other
the way the illusion like peels away when he does that is really cool too.
It's a good
but he gets these visions, and he like confronts them head on, and he's like, oh, my enemies are Zex and Treize, and he came away like fine basically. And then he gets back in, and he looks at Sally and Hiro, and he's like, you know what, Zex and Treize are my enemies. That seems to be who you're going after, so for now I will agree to be on your team.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, it was an amusing vision it showed me. Like, he wasn't freaked out. It's like, huh, cute. But hey, whatever works to get him on their side, I suppose.
Yeah. And then beep beep, another golden vehicle shows up. God, I wonder who it could fucking be.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, fuck off. Just stop.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's Dorothy.
It's anti-beam coating. Don't worry. It's just anti-beam coating on the spaceship.
Don't give it a reason. It makes it worse.
It's the Hyakushiki. It's the Hyakushiki shuttle.
Yeah.
The Hyaku shuttle.
Hyaku shuttle.
So, as Dorothy's flying in, everyone in Libra picks it up. Yes.
Yeah, they pick it up, and Zex looks at it, and she hails them. And like radios in, she's like, "Hi, can I dock here?" And Zex is like, "Shoot it down."
I wanted him to. I wish he did.
Like,
it would have been funny.
He says it's a Romefeller shuttle.
Yeah, to be fair, his
like,
reasoning is sound. It is a Romefeller shuttle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dorothy does what she does best and starts talking. Credit where credit is due.
Him, essentially.
Yeah.
She's good at it.
No, this is good.
Sorry. Yeah, like, she is very good at the bullshit that she does. Like, she knows how to phrase things to worm her way into people's good graces, and but unfortunately, to me, it works again with Zex.
Yeah, like, she's talking, like, she's like, I heard of this guy who said his actions were those of pacifism, or maybe he thought he was a hero, or maybe he just hated peace, and he hated his younger sister for believing in their father's ideals. And essentially, she does epic debate at him, and he's like, all right, what the fuck ever, come on in.
Did you notice that she is wearing the exact same outfit he is?
She is wearing the exact same outfit with a fucking new matching headband to go with it.
It's infuriating.
Mm-hmm. She read How to Win Friends and Influence People. She gets it. And then Milliardo lets her in, and she's like, I will imprint the war on my memory. This will be the final war. I'll never leave your side.
I hate this bitch so much.
As this happens. Oh, cool. A car alarm's going off in my parking lot.
Oh, hell yeah.
So she's like, we finally, last scene of the episode is we see Relina heading to Libra as well. And she's like, only I can stop Milliardo right now. So look, it's not going to happen. But what if, like, Relina has to be the one to kill Dorothy? It'd be kind of dope.
That'd be fucking sick, and I would love it.
I'm all about it.
Oh,
ooh, I just remembered. Episode. Oh, I just remembered a thing. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Fuck. I'm extremely making Jim off his face right now.
Oh no.
Tremendous. That was episode, and that was all the episodes we'll talk about this week. But we're not done talking about Relina yet, because I have a Beyond Toon World.
Yeah.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
So, we're going to talk about Akika Yajima, who is the voice in the sub of Relina Peacecraft. She was born May 4th, 1967. So, 10 years before Star Wars would be a thing, but still born on Star Wars Day nonetheless, in Niigata, Japan. There's always one or two lines of trivia about the voice actors here, and she is a certified nanny.
Oh, hell
yeah.
According to my favorite website, BehindTheVoiceActors.com, her earliest role was in a interesting Japanese production called Jungle Book Shonen Mowgli.
Okay.
As Meshua. I don't know how important of a character she is in the Jungle Book, but you know what? Whatever, man. That was 1989.
Yeah, not a name I recognize.
I'm trying to skip over the bigger roles that are recognizable. In 1994, Sailor Moon S, she was Tama Saburo and Shinosuke, who were like one-off characters, but I feel like everyone in Wing was also in Sailor Moon.
Kind of like how
Ken
everyone
Oki.
in the English dub was in Inuyasha, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, put a pin in that.
Oh, no.
In 1995's Tenchi Universe, she was Ken Oki, like this little cat, weird fairy thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, 95 Wing Relina, we know that already. In 1996 is the spooktacular New Adventures of Casper the Ghost. She was Casper.
Oh,
Okay.
lovely.
In 1997's Revolutionary Girl Utena, she was Mitsuru Suabuki. In 1997's Berserk, she was Rickert. I'm going to skip that one. In 1999's The Big Why Is the Train Going By Again?
I heard it that time.
I wasn't going to say
Phantom
anything.
Train that exists for me, but not for
train.
you. In 1999's The Big O, she was R. Dorothy Wainwright.
Yes.
And would voice her in all of the Super Robot Wars that featured Big O.
Hell yes.
I know y'all remember this character in 2000's Pokemon 3, The Spell of the Unknown. She was Molly Hale, who was the girl who had Entei as her dad.
Oh my god.
She was
That's
Molly.
so cute.
Okay.
Like all three versions of her when she was a girl and a teen and then an adult because she grows up because of the wish. That was a weird fucking movie. Anyway.
It's just like Goku. Same voice for child, teen, and adult.
Very true. In 2001's hit movie Cats and Dogs, starring Jeff Goldblum, she was Lou, who's the main doggy in that movie.
God,
oh my god.
That film existed.
That was 2001. Crazy.
Yeah.
Time to be moving.
Yeah, in 2001, the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone game, the first couple early Harry Potter games. Yeah, but fuck J.K. Rowling, but she did voice Harry Potter in those games, the first couple of them.
All right, that's pretty cool. But
yeah,
also...
get your check and leave.
Cash that fucking check. Yeah.
In 2002's Naruto, she was Ranmaru.
Oh.
In 2003's Full Metal Alchemist, Sans Brotherhood, she was Klaus. I don't remember that character because I haven't seen 03 in a while, but I'm here to tell you it's a good show.
It is a good show.
In 2003's Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars cartoon, she was young Anakin Skywalker.
Oh my god.
2006, the Dot Hack games, she was Gaspard, who's like a bear guy, I think? Something like that.
What a wild departure from the rest of the characters.
Yeah.
I know. In 2007's Naruto Shippuden, she was young Sasori. In 2009's Fairy Tail, she's Lecter, who's one of the weird little, like, kitty cat fairies in that.
I've still never gotten around to watching Fairy Tail, just based on...
Okay.
I have weird sense memories for that one. Can't get
it's
into
like...
it.
It's worse
Fairy Tail
One
has
Piece,
some of the most...
Sorry.
That's the thing. It's like... It has some of the most sick, like, anime moments I've seen, but also is incredibly horny.
Yeah. Never really got into it.
Yeah. In 2010's Heavy Rain, she was Sean and Jason.
No fucking way.
Yes, fucking way.
Pause on that for a moment. Did you see we're getting a Heavy Rain : Star Wars?
Yeah, David Cage, fuck off and redacted.
Yep. I'm excited just to watch a fucking playthrough of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch someone play through it who's just trash talking it the whole time.
That's how I got through.
Is
Detroit.
that why
like,
I know the
that's the
studio
only way
name
to get through
Quantic?
Detroit.
Is that
Yes.
Quantic? Okay.
That's Quantic.
God. Okay. I knew I recognized that name, and I was like, "Oh, that game's gonna suck," but I forgot why.
Oh no, it will. I cannot wait.
In 2021's Cookie Run Kingdom. Why are so many people talking about this fucking game on Twitter? She's the Sea Fairy Cookie. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Time for some bigger roles.
Going
Way back. 1992, Crayon Shin-chan. She was Shinosuke Nohara, who is the main character of Crayon Shin-chan.
Fucking kidding.
The little guy.
Awesome.
The little guy.
Phenomenal.
Let's see. In 1998's Spyro the Dragon, she's Spyro!
Oh, hell yeah!
Fuck yes.
In 1999 and 2000's Persona Innocent Sin and Persona Eternal Punishment, she's Maya Amano, who's like the main character of the second game more so than the first. But like, she's a girl with a heart stitched on her breasts in her outfit. She's good though. I like Maya. All right, final heavy hitters in 2018's Pop Team Epic. She's Pee Me, the blue hair one.
Oh my god.
That's for Lena Peacecraft. In 2016's Yuri on Ice, she is Axel, Loop, and Lutz Nishigori, who I guess are like a triplet of kids named after ice skating moves.
Yeah.
I've never got into that show.
It's good.
And finally, Rulina Peacecraft, Akika Yajima, is Edith, the middle child of Thelonious Grew in the Despicable Me movies.
I'm saluting for you.
I'm saluting
Hell
for me
yeah.
and for her.
Absolutely.
So we know of at least one Gundam link to Despicable Me and the Minions verse.
I have also already like purged it from my memory bank. So
Yeah,
if
That's
New
probably for
mobile
the best.
report. Gundam Wing.
Let's fucking go!
I hate everything.
Well, with that, good episode. Time for some plugs before we do a little thing at the end. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first. You can find me at the Crown Jewels with 2 underscores. That's JULES on Twitter. You can also find our lovely, lovely podcast at Wow Cool Podcast and our Discord server, which is cool, and people post about their Gunpla, is linked in that Twitter bio as well.
Hell yeah. And I'm Jared. You can find me at PagliacciProtoJ on Twitter. That's about it.
And I'm Max. You can find me on Twitter at MaxyBajillion. In addition to this show, you can go to Pot of Greed Cast on... Why did I almost say YouTube? That's not what we do.
I don't know.
Go to Pot of Greed Cast on Twitter to find my Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, Pot of Greed. Go to Slappers Only Pod on Twitter to find my video game music podcast, Slappers Only. Go to NVM the Trollocs on Twitter to listen to my limited series, Amazon's Wheel of Time podcast. We have... I guess as of recording, we have like half of the episodes out so far, but we've recorded like more than that. And Jules plugged the show.
I did.
Thank you to Matt GameCube, who runs Noisepace.xyz, a podcast network where all of my shows are on. Go check them out. There's so many more podcasts. And finally, Jared, what is your robot of the week?
Fuck. My robot of the week is Mechagodzilla.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But not the one from Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm sorry, but that Mechagodzilla's dog ass.
Oh no, that one looks like a toy. I don't care for that one.
The Mechagodzilla in Ready
one.
Player One is better than the Mechagodzilla in a Godzilla movie.
Oh.
Sorry to say
Oh.
it.
Regrettably, you're right.
Don't like it.
I really
Anyway.
like how Mechagodzilla is called Kiryu.
Well, that
in some of the movies, at least.
Yeah, that's the third incarnation of Mechagodzilla, and it's literally built around the skeleton of the first Godzilla, and that's part of why they
Fucking
call
rad.
it Kiryu.
What the hell? God, that's sick.
Yep.
Wow, what
It's-
a cool robot. Wow.
It's fucking radical, and that's something they tried to implement in Godzilla vs. Kong. They're literally using, like, the bones of, like,
that's
Ghidorah
right.
to, like,
Yeah.
conduct the man's brain into the machine. Don't get me
Weird
fucking
movies.
started.
Well, instead of getting you started, let's put this one to bed then.
All right.
Thank you all for tuning in to yet another wonderful episode of Wow Cool Robot. Next week we will be at our penultimate episode covering the episodes of the Gundam Wing anime. Week after that will be the final episodes. Week after that will be Endless Waltz, and week after that will be the wrap up. We might take a week or two off for the holiday break, because we all have things going on. Things of importance, let's say.
Yeah.
But I didn't fucking forget. You thought I was gonna forget, but I didn't. What do we
I
always
did
say
think
at the
you
end
were
of each
fucking
week?
stalling. I'm not gonna lie.
I also
No,
thought it too.
I wasn't stalling. I knew the whole time. I was just thinking of the right words to say. War is bad.
Wow.
Cool robot.
Got it.
See you next
Fuck
time,
yeah.
Gundam Gang.
Peach.